All right, geometry geniuses in the room, raise your hands. This question is for you. This is a lot like, well, it's the same kind of question as number 18. So if you could do number 18, you'll be able to do number 19. If you struggled a little with number 18, I'm going to go through it again so you can see what's going on here. All right, they told me that I have endpoints A and C, and I went ahead and graphed those. A is right 1 up 4. C is right 4 up 10. We have to find the coordinates of point B that partitions AC into the ratio 3 to 5. Oops, sorry, there's a little typo. 3 to 5. Hello. Well, how many total sections is that? That's going to be 8 total sections. I just add those two together to find that. So let's mark off what 8 total sections would look like. I'm going to start in the middle and then divide each of those in half, and then divide each of those in half. All right, now we're looking for point B, which is going to be 1, 2, 3/8 of the way there. Okay, so this is going to represent 3/8, and this part over here would be 5/8. All right, so let's take, whoop. All right, so what I want to do is I want to look at the horizontal change. All right, remember horizontal means level with the horizon. So I'm going to look at the horizontal change. I'm going to write it right over here. Horizontal change, or another way to say that would be the change in x. And again, I could take x2 minus x1, but I like just to count it up. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm going doot, doot, doot. So I go 3 this direction, right? So the distance there is 3. So that's going to be 3. All right, now I also want the vertical change or change in y. And again, I could do y2 minus y1 to find that. Personally, I like to just count it up. That's going to be my change in y. All right, so I'm going to count from this point up to here. And I find that that distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so remember, we want to multiply both of those times 3/8. That's the distance we're looking for. Last time, we multiplied by 1/4. If you remember here, I told you we just divided by 4, but what we were multiplying by is 1/4. So here, what we're going to have to do is multiply times 3/8. And I'm going to go with a little bit darker color so you guys can see what I'm doing better. So I'm going to take 3 and multiply that times 3/8. That's going to give me 9/8. Hello, we're talking about some fractions here, which, if you recall, I can change that into a mixed number by doing 9 divided by 8 is 1 with 1 left over. So I get 1 1/8. All right, for 6, I'm going to multiply that times 3/8, and I get 18/8. 8 goes into 18 2 times to give me 2/8, but we know that 2/8 is the same as 1/4. All right, so what this tells me, now I know this is a little complicated, especially when we threw in some fractions, but I wanted you to see a more difficult version of it. All right, this number tells me that I'm going to go right 1 1/8 places. And this number tells me I'm going to go up that far. So from my starting point, which they tell me is A, from here, I'm going to go right 1 1/8, which is going to be, there's 1, and 1/8 would be just past that. And then up 2 1/4. So I go right and then up, and that is my new point. Crazy, huh? Now, if I wanted to write that, if I wanted to write the coordinates of that point, all I would do is I would take the coordinates of A, which is 1/4, and I'm going to add how far right we go, this number here, 1 1/8. And I'm also going to add how far up we go, 2 1/4, to find the coordinates of our point B. So point B is going to be, I'm just going to add here, 1 plus 1 1/8 is 2 1/8. And then 4 plus 2 1/4 is 6 1/4. So those are technically the coordinates of that point. Like I said, this is probably one of the most difficult things that's on this interim assessment. So you may want to go back and watch video 18 and 19 again, just to be sure you've got the hang of it. Also, this would be a good thing to ask about in class. We can do more sample problems in class during our testing party if you need more help.